So 2018 now officially here, and if you have not yet made your New Year's resolutions, probably you're going to have one or two on your list, and probably getting healthier in the new year will be among your choices. So we're so happy this morning to welcome Robin Darling from CHI Memorial back to the show to help us with some, I think, very logical, simple tips this time.
Right, it's very practical steps to eating healthy, and whereas you say you wonder if people have made the resolutions, I wonder if people haven't already broken them.
That's true.
I think we set our expectations so high. We want to do more. We want to run that 5K next month. We set our expectations so high and just realize that progress is the biggest part of it. Constantly making the small steps and readjusting as we go along.
And so much of your lifestyle is habit. So if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, that's a habit that you formed. And to get then a healthy lifestyle, that has to become habitual too.
Right, it has to become a habit, and we have to try to make it easy for ourselves. And so put up little, as we say, stop signs or barriers or things that make us mindfully eat. One of the good things we tell people, if your habit is snacking, is to turn off the kitchen at night, close the kitchen. Once the dishes are done, just turn off the light and the kitchen's closed.
It sends that, because so much of eating is a mental thing, right?
It is.
So if you have that block to you, like a dog with a closed door, you just won't go through.
You just don't go through it. If you do have snacks out, try to keep it to be fresh fruit or nuts and have it in the kitchen. Otherwise, all the trail mix or all the crackers and all the chips, make sure that they're put away.
Okay, true or false? Bad idea to eat after 7 o'clock at night?
Well, not necessarily. Well, I don't want to say it's bad to snack after 7 p.m., but a lot of people have trouble with reflux or indigestion. It's going to be an issue. And the other thing is, when we eat, what are we doing? We're fueling the body. How many calories are you planning on using after 7 p.m.? Right. So in a way, it is. I'm not going to say that's the end all to making people healthy, because some people want just a little bit on their stomach before they go to bed, and that's fine. It's the continuous snacking, a bite here and a bite there, that tends to get to a lot of people.
Because you don't really realize how many calories you're taking in.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, does it come down to that simple formula of the math of calorie intake versus calorie output?
It does, but part of what we want people to realize is it's not just calories. Sometimes we have to be more careful with our carbs, because we tend to store carbs a little bit more as fat, although we can store any calories as fat. Carbs we're going to store a little bit easier. Okay. So we tell people to moderate the amount of carbohydrate they're going to have, and then be a little bit more liberal with things like lean protein, fresh vegetables, those types of things, because you are getting a lot of nutrients of those. You're getting fiber to kind of help keep you full, and with the meat, there's a little of that protein and fat that will help with your satiety level and just keep you feeling full a little bit longer.
Okay, another tip you shared, I thought this was a great one. Brush your teeth after a meal.
Immediately after the meal, even before you do the dishes, go brush the teeth. Why? Because then you're less likely to take another bite. As moms, not saying dads don't do it as moms, as we're cleaning the kitchen, there's like one thing left in the pan.
Oh yeah, that last scoop.
Bite, so you just go ahead and finish it off. First off, Tupperware comes in small containers. And the other thing is you probably don't need that. Another helpful tip that I once heard, and I don't know the source on this, was you'll have a natural pause to put your fork down during a meal. That's when you're done. You're not supposed to eat until you're full. You eat until you're no longer hungry. So even if you just leave a bite or two on your plate, you'd be surprised how those bites or twos add up. And it's really interesting. A meal may be really good and you may want to finish it, but you're not really hungry, and you'll have that natural pause, and when that fork goes down, if your plate's almost empty, just stop.
Okay, life has changed so much from when you and I were growing up. Don't you remember growing up and your parents would not want you drinking a lot of juice, in part because it was bad for you.
Right.
And in part because it was expensive.
Exactly.
Now we spend all this money on purchasing drinks. They're a hidden calorie buster.
Yes, they really are. We don't realize how much we're consuming. The best way I tell people before you set your goals of what you want to do is see where you're going. We don't go on vacation and just jump in the car and go. We have a map, we have a plan. So keep about a 3-day record of everything you eat, everything that goes beyond those lips, write it down. And when you do that, you'll see where your pitfalls are. Okay. Whether it's you're drinking too many calories, you have no breakfast and you double up at dinner because you had no breakfast, you'll figure out where you need to make your goals. But drinking calories is a big deal. When we go to a restaurant, we always have that server there ready to refill that glass. And if that's sweet tea or a soda, you're really increasing the calories a lot.
Okay, so you said when you're at home, or if you take something with you to work, if you're drinking a flavored drink, Anything other than water?
Anything with calories. You can use a tall glass, but make sure it's a slender glass, because we just see the glass is full based on the height, not necessarily how big around it is.
Okay.
So if you're drinking some with the calories, make sure it's in a narrow glass, so you've got the glass full, but you're not going to have as much volume as a great big tumbler.
Okay, and then the opposite if you're drinking water, keep
try
it full.
try to do the larger ones, because again, you're just seeing it as a glass full and not realizing the volume.
Is it, if you're really trying to lose a good bit of weight in 2018, are you trying to reset your metabolism? And if so, is it better to add in fruits and vegetables, almost like you have to eat more in the course of the day, but of healthy things?
We tell people we never want somebody to go too low on calories. A lot of times when I used to work with the weight loss patients before surgery, they would come in and I would tell them to eat more, even some more carbohydrate. And they would think I was so foolish, and I go, try it. And then they would come back and they would have weight loss.
And why?
Because we need to give our body so many calories, kind of like you said, your metabolism. If we don't get enough calories, then our liver starts feeding us, and we really can't control how much sugar our liver is going to give us. So by controlling and monitoring, giving our body what we need and not in excess, then we kind of work with our metabolism.
Okay.
Also, moving is a great tip.
Okay, that's where I wanted to go then, even if it's something as simple as walking up and down stairs a few times a day.
Yes. Yes, I put on my pedometer yesterday, just thinking how many days do I really, how many steps do I get in? And again, that gives me a goal, something, okay, if I need to, train myself to go a little bit harder, be a little bit stronger, then I need to go beyond that.
Okay, they can find you where?
At the Diabetes and Nutrition Center at CHI Memorial. They can call there to get an appointment with a dietitian.
Okay, thank you so much, and here's to a healthy 2018.
Yes.
We are back after this.